So I'm going to get my wisdom teeth removed tomorrow. I'm a little nervous about that. I have been nervous about that. Just saying that makes me feel a little bit less nervous. Uh, but yeah, there's this is a great timing thing. I think it's it this is all this everything that's going on makes so much sense. It's a punch of sense, continual punch after punch of sense, eternally being caught in the punch of sense. That's what it's starting to really feel like. And I've got this project I've been working on for some time, and it's more of a diagram really, and it started it back in college. It's a collaboration of all these other symbols to uh, it basically put all of the things that I've been learning together in a way that is understandable by people and comprehensible for people, because there's a lot that I've learned and a lot going on right now. To grasp it all, at times is kind of just it hurts. You know, you can't even really do it. It's hard just on your own, and that's like the whole thing, going down the rabbit hole and getting to such a point where there is no reality and your ego is no longer there, and it's you're kind of just caught in this flow, and there's like ways you can handle that, depending on how you like on letting go and the love versus, you know, holding on and being in the grip of fear. You can you come to this understanding once you go down that rabbit hole. And what I mean by that is the search for knowledge, or the search for truth in this world. And the Alice in Wonderland metaphor is good to understand that. Uh, so the thing is ever since started learning about this knowledge, like this information, 2006, 2007, when I moved out here to California from New York, Area 51 and 9/11 conspiracy. There was this massive upheaval in my understanding of how things worked and why things are, and my beliefs, and how I didn't realize it, but started to realize that I had beliefs about certain issues that I didn't even really understand, that like it made I had to go back and rethink what my beliefs were in a state of constant change, and they still are. And that's what's kind of amazing about this time, I think, is that we're all going through this shift. um, but anyway, the whole thing is back to the project that I'm working on, and after I get my wisdom teeth pulled out, I think I'll have a good opportunity to really just focus on that. I've been working on it for some time now. It's a mandala, and the way a mandala works is it's a symbolic representation of the universe. You want to be able to look at it, and it just by looking at this image, you could, in like plain English, it makes you, or in American, like it makes you smarter by looking at this image, because it's not exactly like taking you up in book smart, because there's levels of awareness that are not just, it's not just like this. There's like, for instance, there's knowledge, and then there's wisdom there. And so like you have this growth of like knowledge, which you can read all these books, but then there's the wisdom, which is more about the experience. So this mandala, what it does is it allows you to get into both states of knowledge and wisdom. It shows you image symbols, which really are the knowledge, and the wisdom is the art of making the mandala. It's about taking those images and aligning them with things that people can relate to and understand. And the deeper and more continuous through time you go, the stronger that pull is. The more that knowledge that is like through in a symbol form is, the better that is communicated into like whoever's looking at it. So like that versus you're trying to explain something like by writing it down in words, like you write a little paragraph, and a paragraph can be a mandala too. You know, it's just like a structure, and it's just a very unique structure because it's a unified structure that includes the duality, but in a precise way that allows it to flow and continue itself, not compete and cancel itself out. So the project, like this whole thing is all of the symbols will coalesce with certain aspects of our consciousness, including the polarity, which I said before, and this is something that is watching something like I posted on the site, the astro-theology, you see that the polarity, like day and night, good, evil, masculine, feminine, these things are consistent through time. That's something we can all understand. It exists through all the religions, and like a scientific understanding. Even look cause and effect. That's a scientific uh, uh, tool, a device that allows you to even predict, and it's one of the things that science uses as science, cause and effect. So that's just one of the elements. I've been putting these elements into a design, and many people do this, and I want to just with the intention to bridge the gap from what we consider as mythology and what we consider as history, bridge that gap. So in our and that really is a fractal gap. Fractal meaning that there are levels of that same understanding that go on that have each level has is like seeming is unique but is similar. So bridging the gap between mythology and history is also bridging the gap between what we consider as spirituality and science, or the known and the unknown. And this is like the line in between, in the yin yang, that separates each from, the yin from the yang. But the duality is like a very important aspect, and it's like I guess I'm focusing on this, and this is the first time I've done a podcast, or like not really a podcast, just talking about it. There's a lot to go into, and that's what I'm saying. This mandala allows you to communicates all this information like subconsciously. So we can go in and explain what it all means, and I intend to do that. There's a pamphlet. That's like what my source is telling me to do, is make like a pamphlet where it has a symbol and kind of like a breakdown of what each of the symbols mean in a like a table of contents sort of way. So I guess we'll be talking about it more. My teeth, I might be swollen from this surgery, so we'll see how the transition. I'm interested to go back and see how this is going to be compared to now. But yeah, I guess I'm just getting it out there. I'm gonna post it. I don't care. I'm just gonna post it anyway. But also things like astrology and tarot divination, crystal ball, like all that stuff that like science would consider as pseudoscientific, like and also including the pyramid. What my uncle talks about is like this pyramid of science, where each level is a different, built upon the next level, like mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, psychology, like all of these different schools of understanding that build this structure of how to perceive reality. And that's like the scientific world we live in, and it's very material. It's like it's coming from a scientific materialism, a really solid reality, what we could see and what we could perceive. So like back to the yin yang thing, it is a very natural and necessary side to the yin yang. Like you need to have this scientific pyramid, but there's also like all this other stuff, which our previous civilizations were like their pyramid, so to speak, was what we consider as mythology, like the astrology and the divination. And it's like when we say that when we like, even if you're saying this or subconsciously, oh, we're better than them, or we're a modern culture, that's just like they were just make-believes, just a bunch of silly cavemen. In the course of evolution, they were less evolved, we are more evolved. They had like smaller brains or smaller intellect or something, and it's like that couldn't be further from the truth. So even with this mandala, I hope to communicate even that truth. People can come to that conclusion their own way, and that's what I hope. But it's like the reality is, when we say that there's a bridge, like a missing link in our evolution, it's not just a physical, like there's like, oh, we're gonna find a skeleton, oh, there's just a being that was in between ours and like the cavemen. And it's like that missing link is not just something we're gonna find in a physical form. That missing link is in our mind, and it's not something that we can't find. The missing link is you, like your consciousness, and that's going to be a whole subject we can get into. So the mandala, I called it the fabric in college, and I'm not really, I guess I continue to call it that. It's an ongoing project at this point. Uh, the pyramid of science is at our base right now, and the fundamental part, the spirituality, all that other stuff, is something that science is proving, and they've been at odds with each other. These two forces have been at odds with each other for so long, and right now is a very unique opportunity that we can all take to be in both worlds at the same time. It's like you know what a Venn diagram is, and there's this circle and this circle, these two complementary things, these two very unique opposed, like, dualistic forces. When you put them together, and there's a space where they both exist, there's like an existence where they both have at the same time. And that's like on a fractal level where we are now for our minds, for our consciousness, and for our culture, and for our society. We are living in both worlds. You could see the birth of this new paradigm where it's about consciousness and love and energy and no secrets, and the occult is no longer the occult. Apocalypse, by its true meaning, which is a lifting of the veil. And the veil is like what I'm saying before, is like there's this yin yang, the veil in between the two of those, a lifting of that and a unifying of this, seeing that there's one. It's something that I think we're all going through, and I'm excited to talk more about it with everybody. These conversations go on forever. Yeah, so I think this is a good start. Oh, ending. Oh.
Who are you talking to?
I'm doing a video log. I'm gonna post this.
Oh, you want to post this?
Yeah, I'm gonna post this online.
You can post this. Hi, I'm Alex's mom.
No, get out of here.
No.
All right.
I would like to. All right, you finished. I need to go check something out.
Okay.
Online.
Thanks, Mom.
All right.
All right. Thanks for bringing the family in.
Bye.
Good opportunity to end this.
Come on.
All right.
Come on, everybody out.